Midwest. I grew up in the Portland, Oregon area in a Caucasian community. I felt always a little different because I looked a little different. When I saw the Civil War series on PBS, the realization of what it is to be an American crystallized in my mind, and it has nothing to do with how you look. I suddenly realized that I always was an American.
One of the things I love the most about the forest is that try as we might, we'll never understand all the complexities. But they've got some great stories to tell. They're full of connections. I can think of no better place on the planet to study and see some of the most profound biological connections than the rainforest of the Pacific Northwest, the Great Bear.
Tonight at 10.
It only takes a moment to discover the beauty around you. Hi, I'm Bill Stubbs, host of Moment of Luxury.
Quiet talk, an ancient tapestry. Just look, you'll find your treasure, and joy beyond all measure. When you find your moment of luxury.
Tonight at 10:30.
People think they know all about cats. After all, felines prowl the planet in every possible guise. Sometimes just fitting in, unobtrusively. Sometimes boldly claiming their turf. Some find the ways of cats mysterious, enigmatic. They say they are unknowable, and perhaps it's true. Cats are definitely full of surprises. Cats come in all sizes, from extra large to extra small. As my kind starts in life. We are cats, and it seems you rather love us. We've even overtaken dogs as America's favorite pet. What is it about us that fascinates you? It is that we seem so different from our larger cousins, so manageably ferocious, so tame and yet so aloof. There's even more than that to being feline, as all cats know. We carry fabulous secrets from across our many lives. Every house cat knows that it's a jungle out there. Even as we live in pampered splendor. Like us, lions shelter as families, but lions are the only cats who spend so much of their lives in close social groups or prides. It comes as no surprise to me that it's the females of the pride who do most of the work. Parental duties and hunting for food, too. As for the cubs, well, kittens will be kittens, whether they are playing at hunting or just playing on the plains of Africa. The young have a lot to learn. people would tell them a few myths, like the one about how no cat ever wants to get wet. But tigers prove that's not true. When it comes to ferocity, a tiger may be the cat you think of first, but try thinking of a tiger as the skinny dipper it becomes in India's summer heat. It's hard to be inconspicuous here. Camouflage works better in the jungle. But with no air conditioning in sight, soaking their stripes is the only way to cool off. And these four brothers look like they're enjoying it. It's something of a secret, but cats know that sometimes getting wet is worthwhile. Lions will also take to the water if they need to cool down. These two young males, they've only just begun to grow their manes. Getting wet is also a great way to get rid of flies, at least for a little while. Into every feline life, a little rain must fall, or a lot. For kittens, rain is still a foreign phenomenon, but for big cats, the world is definitely damp. During the rainy season, there's not much a lion can do except wait the storm out. The younger fellows may find it entertaining, but it's just plain miserable. For the cheetah, too, this isn't the best day for hunting. It's raining so hard you can hardly see your paw in front of your face, much less see your prey moving in the grass. The rain dampens everyone's spirits. The lions have little chance of tracking their prey by scent. That, too, is drowned by the rain. But at least there's a positive side to this weather. An easy lick of water. As close as the nearest fur, licking comes naturally, making cats some of the cleanest animals on earth. Grooming spreads a cat's scent from glands beneath its skin to all over its body. The scent helps a cat identify another as friend or enemy. Rain isn't the only nuisance in a big cat's life. But a male lion could give lessons in how to be a tolerant father. He lets a cub know when it's pushing its luck. But it seems the young can tell when an adult has yet to run out of patience. It's this kind of carousing that helps a cub learn how to become a powerful player, like its father. The cubs will inherit a mighty roar. At full strength, it can be heard at least 4 miles away. Some of us make do with a simple meow. Most cats make a point of establishing their very own turf, often around a patch of water. All cats need water to drink, and a puma would usually prefer to leave it at that rather than get wet. even though it is an excellent swimmer. If a cat isn't sleeping, it's probably on its way to someplace else. While it's having a drink, a South American ocelot may keep an eye out for one of its favorite meals, fresh fish. It's no secret cats love fish, but the slippery creatures can be even more elusive than we are. Cats don't give up easily, and persistence pays off. The taste for fish is alive and well in cats who live a long way from any good fishing, and so are the talents needed to catch fish. One of the most stunning of all cats is the jaguar. It has an exotic fur coat anyone could envy. It was designed as camouflage for the dappled light of its exotic home, the Brazilian rainforest. Unfortunately, such beauty is not one of the secrets of cats. Warm, sleek fur has long been prized by others. Jaguars were often captured, like this one, to live in zoos. At least then, people could see their living beauty. But the human animal has been known to try to steal beauty, killing big cats to gain their fur. Just a few decades ago, jaguars were killed by the thousands. Some are now protected, but the numbers are not what they used to be. Laws are hard to enforce, it seems. And when forests are cut down, big cats have no place to live. Jaguars that still have their rainforest homes stalk their prey just about anywhere, even if it means getting their feet wet. Turtle, you can hide, but you can't run. Yes, a jaguar will eat a turtle. You could see a cat as an opportunist, ready to pounce on whatever comes along. Jaguars are the only cats known to pierce even an animal's skull with their teeth. With that kind of strength, a jaguar can crack open a tough turtle shell. Of course, jaguars will also eat about 80 other kinds of things, depending on what's available. Although this cat hasn't got much of a choice at the moment. Some of us would rather see a can opener in use. Cats aren't entirely adorable. It just isn't in our nature. For some cats, life means incredibly hard work. Lions usually have to grapple with an animal larger than a turtle and with its own tough hide. Tackling a water buffalo calls for teamwork. It weighs 6 times as much as a female lion. The job also calls for persistence. Only about a third of a lion's attacks succeed, but a lion needs to feast on at least 60 pounds of food at a time. Young males help the females, learning from their experience how it's done. Although the buffalo struggles to shake the lions off, it was probably pursued because it was already weakened in some way. A target is often sick or old. It may seem cruel, but it is the only way cats and other carnivores can survive. Meat is a lion's only energy source. When the buffalo finally gives in to its fate, cooperation among the lions vanishes. And people say house cats lack restraint, jumping up on the dinner table. The big male is at the head of the clan and gets, well, the lion's share. The face of a lioness shows the scars of past battles. She's not a member of the pride, and if she thinks she can gain a meal here, she'll have to think again. Strange females are not welcome, and she will be lucky to make it out of there unscathed. But once again, cats are only doing what must be done, and they usually work it out among themselves. In times long past, the strength possessed by lions made the Romans cast them as executioners. The Hollywood version doesn't show it, but the lions used in the arena had to be trained to become man-eaters. Unless Christian victims and gladiators moved their hands, the lions weren't likely to attack. The Romans' fondness for the huge Barbary lions of North Africa helped lead to their extinction. Targeted and destroyed for their natural traits, that may be the most painful secret of all. Cats need their strength, and it can be something to behold. The lion weighs at least 100 pounds less than the zebra. The sight of such power in action isn't always pretty, but cats have held humans entranced for a very long time. Maybe cats appeal to people because of the way they practice using their strength during playtime. Every move a young cat makes is part of growing stronger, developing coordination, learning who's top cat, or rehearsing for the hunt. People say boys will be boys, and I say cats will be cats, especially when they're boys. Male lions stay playful even after they have left the pride in which they grew up. Males go off on their own or in a small group like this for a few years, until they are strong enough to take over a new pride. They are keeping at their lessons, learning how the world works, by trial and error. Cats can be so fierce, yet so gentle. Perhaps human beings first began to feel affection for cats watching fellows like these. Eventually, the Egyptians thought of cats so highly that anyone who killed a cat, even by accident, was put to death. A male lion up a tree? That's an unusual sight. He must be experimenting. If there's anything cats need to do as much as lick and eat, it's to climb. There's a myth that lions don't climb trees. Actually, it's only part myth. Male and female domestic cats climb trees and use them to sharpen their claws. And a female lion is liable to climb a tree, especially if she's tired of the attentions of a male. Mating can be a tiring business, and she needs to make a getaway. The male could follow her, but he's unlikely to expend the energy. For now, anyway. Mating is exhausting for him too. And he can just stake his claim here, at her feet. She's got him right where she wants him. It'll be up to her whether she permits any closer contact. He could be in for a very long wait. The African serval is usually a good climber, but not this time. Maybe gorgeous long legs aren't everything if they get in your way. All right, just kidding. The margay of South America is a terrific climber. One of its secrets, it sometimes rotates its hind feet 180 degrees in order to climb down a tree head first. Going down head first is extremely unusual, even for cats. Margay kittens and adults alike spend most of their time in trees or in the undergrowth below. To one so young, the whole world is new, and the large eye spots of the owl butterfly are a bit startling, definitely cause for caution. But a cat's curiosity isn't famous for nothing. Cheetahs are renowned runners, not climbers. Sometimes they perch in trees to look for prey. And a tree can be a great place to play. But unlike other cats, a cheetah has claws that never fully retract, so instead of helping, the claws may get in this cat's way when it's trying to climb. Anyone who has tried to take prey away from a hungry cat knows what happens. A cat will protect its food after going to a lot of trouble to get it. A leopard takes protection of its meal to great heights, climbing a tree while carrying the dead weight of a gazelle. A tree is a leopard's larder in the sky. The half-eaten meal is fairly safe up here from theft by other cats. It's been hard work getting this carcass. Pursuing its prey by night, a leopard may leap more than 20 feet in a single bound. Supercat also stays alert to aerial pirates, vultures in this case. He isn't about to let them anywhere near the prize. Finally, what every cat longs for, a moment of peace and quiet and rest. After a meal, there are teeth to be cleaned. Chewing a tree can get that job done. Then it's back up the tree. The North American puma does a lot of climbing. It loves to eat a creature that's often up a tree, the porcupine. Of course, when it comes to climbing, going up is easy. Getting down is the tricky part. It's a question of picking your way carefully. Until you can't anymore. These are the awkward moments most cats would like to keep secret. Cats hate to be caught looking anything less than graceful and relaxed. But then if cats were alone in the world, unobserved, they'd get lonely. As it is, they are certainly not alone. It's a reality of life that feline territory often rubs up against human settlement. People have fought back, protecting their families and their cattle, especially against lions. Among the Maasai in Africa, killing a lion was reputed to give a young man a lion's strength. Today, Maasai tribes are still living in close proximity with lions, sharing the same land. But over the centuries, a kind of truce has been established, a mutual respect, as people and lions have learned to keep their distance from each other. People who live close to big cats have to strike some compromises. Of course, some people feel living with any cat calls for some compromises, even when it's the gentlest of tabbies. Some people seem incapable of compromise. Their idea of fun is to wield all the power in a one-sided game, hunting. When the American President Theodore Roosevelt went on safari in Africa, he killed more than 500 animals. Thank goodness, most people have figured out that cats are more fun alive than dead. But big cats are still being hunted and poached in many parts of the world. Wherever numbers go too low, it's a threat to their survival. There will be less genetic variety needed to keep a species strong. And cats can't bear as many young if it's hard to find a mate. It's not for lack of trying. The instinct to breed is powerful. Cats make every effort to keep their numbers up, and they do it with style. The female lets the pride's top male know he can approach her. He finally gets the message. They will mate many times over 2 or 3 days. I wonder, do other creatures have mixed feelings about mating? This is one aspect of big cat life I sometimes close my eyes to. As for my suitors, they'll just have to wait until I'm ready. When a new generation does come along, like these cheetah cubs, there's more work to be done, looking after them and grooming. Family bonds are formed through such close contact, and they hold firm as the cubs get older. When these two need to hunt, they'll work together. Cheetah babies don't look much like cheetahs at first. They're born with a natural disguise designed to scare enemies away. The cheetah cubs look just like honey badgers, animals who have a feisty reputation. This is one secret that's meant to be kept quiet. It could be a matter of life or death. Young ones are vulnerable, especially if their mother is a nighttime hunter. Servals are already rare in parts of Africa, and every new kitten is precious. These two are just 1 week old. Their mother keeps them safe inside an old termite mound while she's out hunting. She comes back often to groom the kittens and to feed them. The father takes no part in baby care, so the young are completely dependent on their mother's feedings. Most cats make attentive and contented mothers. There's a cat hiding here. It's virtually invisible in the grass, thanks to its tawny, spotted coat, but it's there, right in the middle. It's a leopard. Like most cats, it sits motionless, inspecting its target. The guinea fowl have no idea they're being watched, or that one of them may soon become a meal. With such exquisite camouflage, the leopard can creep closer. When the leopard is no longer hidden by grass, the odds of discovery increase, but it must get even closer. This leopard succeeds. It was unobserved until it was much too late for the guinea fowl. Death is quick, a bite to the back of the neck. There's no need to carry this prey up a tree. It will probably be consumed on the spot. A cat with perfect camouflage that serves it well. A cheetah hunts not by slow stealth, but with bursts of speed. It targets one prey animal and stays with it through the chase, It's investing a huge amount of energy on a gamble. Each stride is up to 24 feet long. The cheetah's spine undulates as it runs, but that's only one of the reasons it is such an elegant runner. Its claws are always out to grip the ground like spiked running shoes, and the cheetah can execute sharp, sudden turns thanks to its long tail, which works as a counterbalance. The fastest land animal, traveling at speeds of at least 70 miles per hour, often pursues the second fastest, the gazelle. A cheetah can reach top speed in 3 seconds from a standing start. This cheetah judged its chances well. It sensed that the cost in energy would be repaid with the gazelle's life. A cheetah may be the ultimate in feline grace and speed, but its features have been honed by evolution to a fragile state. Too fragile. One problem shows in cheetahs' faces. They've developed a serious underbite that could eventually make it impossible to grip and kill their prey. They've also developed a kink in their tails, a genetic flaw found in too many of the cheetahs that remain. It happened because of inbreeding. Cheetahs lost ground to humans, their numbers shrank. Those that remained mated, and their young became too closely related. Already finely tuned, they were vulnerable to genetic flaws, which were quickly passed along. Now the fastest cats in the world need help from human beings. Projects that cross-breed cheetahs from the remaining populations to breed out the problem traits. And that takes cooperation between nations. Meanwhile, cheetahs have their own cooperative ideas, like hunting together. That means they can go after something big, like zebra. The cheetahs have to coordinate with each other. Which one is it they're going after? It's taken 5 cheetahs working together to bring down even a small zebra. A mother cat is her kitten's own feeding station, supplying fresh milk, as popular with kittens as fish are to a serval. The pool of water is at the center of his territory, so he has a good supply. There's also something else on the menu. Rodents, another great tradition in cat food. A serval doesn't have to expend much energy to catch a meal. It has the longest legs of any cat in relation to its size, so it has an excellent view of whatever's around. The twitching tail is a sure sign of a cat's deepest attention. Surprise! all cats know that secret of success. Some cats have a secret that can work for them only when night falls. By day, a melanistic serval is all too visible in its black coat. It's genetically different from other servals, dark instead of the pale shades of dry grass. This cat is a standout in broad daylight. Some cats hunt by day, others by night. And this is one who has a much better chance of surprising its prey if it hunts under cover of darkness. Most servals look like this, naturally camouflaged for the grasslands of Africa. Nature creates its own new genetic combinations, so many that no two kittens are exactly alike, unless they're twins. Sometimes when a lion and tiger are together in captivity, nature comes up with combination cats, ligers and tigons. Or humans may get into the act and carry out selective breeding. The animals that result may be healthy, but unable to have young of their own. Selective breeding also creates fancy pedigree cats with fancy little noses. Now some Persian cats' noses are so small that the animals have a hard time breathing. These cats need constant care. No wild cat has long hair. It would snag and tangle in the brush. One person got the idea to make two very short-legged stray cats and create a new breed, the Munchkin. And an occasional natural defect, hairlessness, was used to create a bald breed of cat, known as the Sphinx. Nature's breeding usually leads to stronger, better cats. It's hard to see the point of developing traits that are no use to a domestic cat, not when their natural inheritance is undoubtedly wild. The small African wildcat is like a little lion, and it may be the closest link between wild cats and the entire world of domestic cats. Like its larger relatives, this sturdy cat thrives on the African plains. Its food supply is plentiful. But its forebears may have faced hardship. No one knows for sure how cats began to get used to humans, but it may have started in Palestine and Egypt. If food in the wild became hard to find, cats like this may have learned to hunt for rodents not in the fields, but closer to people and their stores of grain. At some point, a few cats probably began coming indoors, just like this African wildcat chooses to do. Cats may have simply seized an opportunity for an easier life. This cat is still wild. It comes and goes, and it could turn on the man at any time. So, did people choose cats, or is it the other way around? Domestic cats may have it lucky, But links to the wilder members of the family are still with us. For all its genteel habits, a house cat can revert, at least partially, to wilder ways. Domestic cats that have learned to fend for themselves are called feral cats. They scavenge for food and set up communities complete with a pecking order, just like lions. And like the big cats, they manage to work it out. All cats have so much in common. It isn't just in the street that you see animals fighting like cats and dogs. It happens on the plains, too. A cheetah and a jackal are a cat and a dog, and a cheetah isn't about to let this dog near its food. He'll have to go and find his own. Competition for food probably isn't the only reason cats and dogs have become lifelong enemies. Man's best friend has long been cat's worst enemy. Hunting dogs have been used against cats for centuries. Mountain lions know all about it. In several places, puma meat was considered a delicacy. Dogs made perfect partners for human hunters. When a puma is chased by a dog, it's more likely to go up a tree than to attack. Still, wildcats led dogs and hunters on quite a chase sometimes. Now cats like pumas are having an even harder time surviving in the wild. They are unwanted anywhere near humans, even though a puma will usually attack a person only if it is sick or starving. It's another big, beautiful cat in direct conflict with another creature's expanding territory. It gets harder and harder to make a living as your domain shrinks. When the smaller animals leave, the food supply dwindles. It may seem that there are still plenty of forests where wildcats could thrive untouched, but every year there are more reports of contact between humans and wildcats. Some people would like to bury wildcats forever, just as one of these cats buries its prey. The puma is working to conceal its treasure from other animals, covering it over with soil and leaves so it can come back later, feed again, and survive. Ranchers and others who live in close proximity with pumas are also trying to survive. There aren't any easy answers, it seems, in the world of wildcats. Tigers are famous for ferociously good looks, but their need to hunt got them into trouble too. It's easy to malign tigers if they've eaten your buffalo. But the native princes and maharajas of India often shot tigers simply for the fun of it, bringing home trophies like tiger skin rugs. It seems some people get confused when they see stripes. Not so many years ago, one Maharaja complained that he had killed too few tigers, only 1,150 in his lifetime. This was hunting on what they call a grand scale. Grand doesn't seem quite the word for it, when it's not exactly a fair fight. Today in India, men still ride elephants to find tigers, but these days it's to protect tigers, not to hunt them. Where there used to be hundreds of men hunting at a time, there are now 4 park wardens trying to guard a vast area with the help of their elephant assistants. Tigers in India live surrounded by an exploding human population. They are losing ground fast, and their numbers were already low from hunting. India and other countries are working hard to protect tigers. The tiger was chosen to replace the lion as India's national animal. But the hunting problem is far from over. Some people, especially in Eastern Asia, think that parts of the tiger work like medicine. All parts of the animal, bones, eyes, and even whiskers, are sought after in an attempt to cure human ailments. There may be only 3,000 or 4,000 tigers left in all of Central Asia, and in China, poachers kill tigers at a rate of 2 a day. It's against the law, but it continues because people will pay high prices for tiger skin and bones. Even the places where tigers are protected are under threat, as more and more people need land to live on. And if tigers must be fed to keep them away from livestock and lose their ability to hunt, will they still be tigers? Another cat in deep trouble is the Asiatic lion. It's descended from the lions killed by King David in the deserts of Palestine. Asiatic lions are usually smaller and lighter in color than African lions. Males have less prominent manes. And these lions are being squeezed. They live only in a reserve in India. The lions are protected, as the sign says. But in the same protected area live thousands of human beings and their domestic animals. All are existing, much too close for comfort. The question is, who is in whose backyard? Or middle of the road? Where is he to go, this wild cat? He has food, but it is supplied by the reserve. And this carcass is no longer fresh. The lion and his comrades have been living off it for several days. That often happens when lions are on their own. But in the wild, the lions would at least have a chance at younger, more nourishing meat. This animal was probably old and thin, no longer any use to humans. Some of us cats have made the best of living among human beings. And that's no secret. In return, we share our talents and our beauty. In a world full of cats, with each one a link to an ever-shrinking wilderness, it's not hard to wonder, have human beings made the best of living among cats? Not just the small ones, but their big, wild cousins as well.
One of the things I love the most about the forest is that try as we might, we'll never understand all the complexities. But they've got some great stories to tell. They're full of connections. I can think of no better place on the planet to study and see some of the most profound biological connections than the rainforest of the Pacific Northwest, the Great Bear.
Coming up next.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves with more of the best of Europe. Every Italy connoisseur. Prague has always been beautiful. In Germany, the Irish civilization, the Eiffel Tower was built. I hope you've enjoyed the magic of that.